Welcome to Fear in 60 Seconds, where horror stories unfold in under a minute. But today, we're going long form. We'll be counting down to our #1 story. So make sure to like and subscribe if you dare. In our number 10 spot, we have Whispers in the Hallway, the Haunted School. Our story follows 4 friends, Aisha, Bilal, Haina, and Zain, who are looking for a good scare. After scouring the internet for the most haunted place in town, they landed on an abandoned school rumored to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. Located in an isolated part of the city, this forgotten institution had been closed for over a decade, leaving behind a legacy of fear and unease among locals. But the allure of the unknown was too strong for our young explorers, and they decided to venture inside. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the overgrown playground, the friends arrived at the school. The wrought iron gates stood ajar, creaking ominously in the evening breeze. Glass windows were smashed, allowing the curious to peer into darkened rooms. Peering through one such window, they saw rows of desks neatly arranged, as if the students had just left for recess. What sent shivers down their spines, however, was the faint chalk writing on the blackboard. "We're still here." With their hearts pounding, they pushed open the heavy oak doors and stepped inside. Footsteps echoed above them in the stairwell, as if unseen footsteps were watching their every move. The children's laughter, though distant, seemed to mock their presence. And then there was the scratching, slow and deliberate, coming from the floor above. Could it be mice, or was something more sinister lurking in the shadows? Unanswered questions hung heavy in the stale air, mingling with the scent of decay and dust. Determined to uncover the truth behind the haunting melody, they followed the sound to the top of the stairs, where a long, dimly lit corridor greeted them. Splitting into 2 groups, Aisha and Bilal ventured upstairs, while Haina and Zain stayed behind to investigate the basement. Upstairs, each step creaked a haunting tune, amplifying their unease. The corridor was lined with classrooms, each locked and shrouded in darkness. The silence was broken only by the relentless ticking of an unseen clock. Suddenly they heard it again, the lullaby, but this time closer, more mournful. As they turned to leave, the hair on their arms stood on end. 2 pairs of eyes seemed to glow from the depths of a nearby classroom. Was it a stray animal or something more sinister? Afraid to turn back and face whatever lurked ahead, they fled to the relative safety of the stairwell. Meanwhile, in the basement, Haina and Zain found an old filing cabinet filled with yellowed school records. The flickering light of their flashlight revealed faded ink on the brittle pages. One record read, "Sarah Williams, missing since 1984. Another, Thomas Baker, vanished without a trace." Their investigation led them deeper into the labyrinthian basement, until they came across a sealed door marked "Detention." Pushing against it, they felt a scratching sound from the other side, as if someone were trying to get out. Had they stumbled upon the source of the hauntings? Curiosity, and perhaps a sense of morbid fascination, compelled them to turn the doorknob. To their surprise, it opened easily. Peering inside, they saw a musty underground classroom with dozens of small desks in neat rows. The walls were covered with blackboards bearing desperate messages written in childish handwriting. "Let us out. Teacher won't let us go." Hope flickered as they noticed a desk against the far wall with a nameplate that read "Headmaster." On the desk lay an old leather-bound diary. As Zane began reading aloud, they learned about a terrible accident in the boiler room years ago. During a routine inspection, the headmaster discovered a small fire. He sounded the alarm, but before anyone could react, the fire spread, trapping the children in their classrooms. Those who didn't escape perished in the blaze, their souls forever entwined with the school. Suddenly, the lights went out, plunging them into darkness. Then they heard it, the sound of children running in the halls above. But the school was empty. All the students had been accounted for. Panic surged through them as they realized they weren't alone. Bock slammed shut as if by an unseen force. Whispers slithered through the darkness, hissing their names. Just as quickly as it started, it stopped. Silence descended once more, heavy and oppressive. Then Aisha felt it, a cold, tiny hand resting on her shoulder. Turning, she saw the imprint of a small child's hand, palm and fingers. Startled, she brushed it off, attributing it to overactive imagination. But their phones confirmed otherwise. They had no signal. Doors slammed shut, sealing them inside. The temperature plummeted, sending shivers down their spines. They were trapped in a nightmare from which there seemed to be no escape. And then he appeared. The ghostly teacher, tall and gaunt, his features obscured by a wide-brimmed hat. In his hand he held a cracked bronze bell. As he approached, each ring of the bell made the corridors twist and shift, the walls breathing and pulsating, terror gripping their hearts. They ran, but the halls seemed endless. They fled through the shifting corridors, until they found themselves back in the classroom with the sealed door. All hope seemed lost. But then Aisha remembered the diary. The last line burned in her mind. "The only exit is the front gate when the bell stops." With newfound determination, they huddled together, covering their ears to block out the relentless ringing. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the sound ceased. Gasping for breath, they sprinted toward the front gate, flinging it open and stumbling into the night. Outside, the building loomed over them, its facade now looking like any ordinary school. But as they caught their breath, the chalkboard became visible again. "See you next class." Shaken and traumatized, they collapsed onto the grass, pulling out their phones to review the footage. On every frame, they were surrounded by dozens of translucent children, their faces pale and sorrowful. Some reached out, as if wanting to be noticed. Others stared blankly ahead, their presence a constant chill against their skin. The diary had warned them of the children trapped within the school's walls. But what did it mean to be trapped? Were they now a part of the haunting melody? Would they to become spectral guardians of the school, doomed to roam its hallowed halls for eternity? Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Fear in 60 Seconds and comment below with your scariest location ideas. We might feature yours in a future episode. If you want to see more from our long-form series, stay tuned for more content like this. Until next time, sleep tight, because some schools close forever, but class is never dismissed.